Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of Let's Talk About. Behavior recently revealed the much anticipated, much speculated upon January license chapter is going to be none other than Stranger Things Chapter 2. Some people seem to not be excited about this announcement, or not as excited as I think they should be, and I think I know why. It's not because this isn't a massive moment for DBD, because it certainly is. This is something we as a community have been begging for literal years now, and it's finally happening. Stranger Things came back after being gone for a few years, and we all went, alright, you got a new license, let's do more. This disinterest in this announcement is because people spend a lot of time now looking into the abyss and are seeing things that aren't necessarily there. What do I mean by that? For example, just because the unknown says something unhinged and out of place doesn't mean it's a teaser or a hint. Have you seen my dog? Wasn't a hint at the Houndmaster. Have you seen my dog is a common thing kidnappers would say to lure kids into their windowless vans, because that statement makes people want to help you and follow you because they feel bad you lost your precious little doggy. So of course, the creature that wants to lure you into the woods and wear your flesh like a three-piece suit would of course use that phrase. So no, the arcade cabinet in Greenville wasn't a hint at a Predator chapter. Suck it up, Buttercups, because Vecna is entering the fog. Again. So let's talk about it. So, what are we actually talking about today, because I gave no hints in that opening monologue. There is only one thing that is for certain about this upcoming chapter, and that is that the killer will be Vecna. Who else could it be? It's not going to be the Mind Flayer, I'll tell you that much. They made it pretty obvious with that teaser for the announcement, announcing the chapter and other announcements, that it is, in fact, Vecna. So today, I'm going to do a twofer. I'm going to first speculate about what Vecna's power and perks could be with everything we know from Season 4 and the first batch of Season 5 episodes. This is being recorded before Batch 2 releases, but we have a full season and a lot of lore to work with, so that's what I'm going to be basing my hypothesis on. Then I'm going to give my wish list of things I want in this chapter, including the two survivors I want most. And yes, if you saw my community post when they made the announcement initially, you already know who I'm talking about. Before we talk about anything though, big ol' spoiler warning from here on out. I'm going to be talking about Season 4 as well as the first batch of episodes of Season 5. This is your one and only warning, so if you don't want to be spoiled, turn the video off, come back to it later after you're done catching up on the season. No hard feelings. Everybody good? Okay, so can we talk about how amazing that Demogorgon scene was at the end of episode 4? It felt so incredible seeing Demo whoop ass like he should. More on that one later. When it comes to Vecna's power, we have a lot of stuff to work with. As Henry Creel, the boy, he had telepathic powers, which means he can move objects with his mind, and he can also read other people's minds. When he gets to the Upside Down, not by his choice, his powers amplify exponentially. As Vecna, the Demon Lord, he has the ability to make his victims hallucinate, see their greatest fears, and then, you know, kills them. We learn from Will that he puts people in a cocoon-like structure and siphons energy from them while they're in the cocoon. And then we learn from Max that he's putting them into a dreamscape while doing so. Reddy puts Holly into his old house in Hawkins while he is in human form as Mr. Whatsit. Max is also in the dreamscape, in a cave that he won't go into. We haven't learned that yet. I'm assuming Batch 2 will reveal that sort of stuff, but that is yet to be seen. He also has a strong connection to the Mind Flayer, amplifying his telepathic powers so he can reach the real world. Not real world, but our world, not the Upside Down. Making survivors see hallucinations wouldn't work as a power, so that is out. So is reading minds and moving objects telepathically. Yes, ragdolling a survivor into an LT wall would be hilarious. It is also not a viable power. Behavior did tease transporting survivors into a different realm as a power in the Grimoire, so that could be on the table. That would be interesting to see how they work that into a power. And of course, the Chrissy scene should absolutely be one of his Moris that is tied to his power, with a completely separate one being a regular Mori. Will says in an almost throwaway, like, line that Vecna is a hive mind entity. So what I'm thinking is we play off the hive mind aspect of Vecna in two ways. In Season 5, we learned from Will that Vecna can see through the eyes of his next victim, so what if we could see through the eyes of a specific survivor? Maybe something to do with the obsession mechanic, like they're the one in the trial that talked to Mr. Watson. Maybe make him like Myers, where his perks are designed to impact the obsession the most. It's been a while since Behavior have really played with the obsession mechanic. I'm starting to think they've forgotten about it. Part 2 of this power would be the ability to summon and control Demogorgons and Demobats. You know, the bat things that killed Eddie in Season 4. That's what they're called. They're Demobats. I had to Google it. Don't know why they're called Demobats, but that's what they are. I'm not talking in a transform into them way, vis-a-vis Dracula, or always have them by your side like Houndmaster. I'm thinking you can spawn them near the survivor that you used, that you're currently hunting. Maybe not a full-fledged Demogorgon, but instead a cute little Demodog from Season 2, because why not? Apparently certain things from Season 2 now matter more than they ever did. I would also like to see the Mind Flayer float in the distance like Dracula's castle, tying all of the big bads of Stranger Things together in DVD once and for all. I think that would be a really cool touch. What about perks? Like I said, I think we should give him perks that work against the obsession. Whenever Will is near the next Vecna target, he gets goosies. Steve said it, not me. So what if one of his perks makes anyone within 24 meters of the obsession scream and reveal their location for 5 seconds every 60 seconds, but in turn, the obsession can see the killer's aura for 3 seconds. It's not overpowered, it can give you good info to both sides, and it's very much in the lore of the franchise. More fun perks, Behavior, please. But enough about Vecna. Let's talk about the 2 survivors that are entering the fog with him. As I said earlier, you already know who I'm going to say because of the community post I made when Behavior announced this new chapter, because I had to cancel a planned Let's Talk episode because procrastination. I love procrastinating. I call it rewrites, so it seems like I'm doing something productive, but it's all procrastination, baby. I want Winona Ryder and David Harbour. Give me what I want, Cote. I need them in DVD voicing Joyce and Hopper. I need to unhook a teammate and Hopper call him a stubborn punk ass. I need it. That's what I need. Give me what I need. Why them and not the kids, though? Because the other options are children, and we kinda can't kill and horrifically maim children in a video game. They are still in high school. Steve and Nancy were brought into the fog during Season 2, where they were both out of high school at that point. I have to preface that because I know that's going to be one of the counterpoints to my argument as why the kids cannot be in the game. Plus, Joyce and Hopper are more interesting characters when compared to the kids, with the exception of Max. Max is more interesting, or at least on the same level of interesting as Joyce and Hopper, I think. Let's move on to their perks. Both have the same thing in common. They are incredibly protective of their children. Joyce is, I want to say overprotective, but I also don't want to say that because her son literally vanished into thin air and was told by FBI agents that he was dead when he was, in fact, not that. He was just dragged into an interdimensional realm by a bipedal killing machine. Who hasn't been there? Hopper, on the other hand, is overprotective because he has lost a child before and doesn't want to go through that pain again. Their perks should reflect those protective traits. Joyce literally attempts to fist fight the literal demon lord of the Upside Down, Vecna, in Season 5. She will sacrifice herself to save her children. That's not to mention that she tries to shovel fight a Demogorgon about 10 minutes before that Vecna scene. Hopper is constantly training Eleven to fight her own battles, but is also willing to sacrifice himself at, like, an alarming rate. Like, dude, you need to talk to somebody about this. I understand, but you're getting some tendencies there, buddy. Calm down. Joyce should have perks that reflect her supportive nature and her persistence under great stress, while Hopper should have perks that push his teammates to survive, but that also help his survivability because he did spend a long time in a Russian internment camp in Season 4 and is, you know, a Vietnam vet. And these aren't new traits. These have been their core traits since the first episode premiered almost a decade ago now. Yeah, Hopper in Season 1 was more of a side character that just wanted the truth, but I can say the same thing about Steve. He was just a dickhead jock in Season 1, but ultimately became the world's best babysitter in Season 2. Behavior did a great job capturing who Steve and Nancy are in their perks, so I expect the same for Joyce and Hobbs. Above all else, I don't want to see any perks that add more RNG to the game because that is the biggest trouble in DBD and has been for a while now. But maybe I'll save that for a later Let's Talk. I don't know. Let's move on to the final part of today's Let's Talk About, and that is just a generalized wish list I want to see. Let's start with something we might actually get, and that is an alternate version of Hawkins. I know, this chapter isn't coming with a new map, sadly. But a new variation of an existing map doesn't count as a new map, now does it? Something to think about. When leaks first emerged, like, two and a half years ago now, a leaker said they had footage of a new and improved Hawkins map. From what I remember, it looked like the rooms we saw in Season 4, the rainbow rooms with matching hallways. My theory is that it will be completely different from the Hawkins v. Myers mains know and love. Maybe instead of the Wall Gina room and connecting Wall Gina viewing area, that will be all replaced with the rainbow rooms. Maybe if they go above and beyond, like they should, they recreate Max's journey through the dreamscape and one of the halls leads to a hallway from 1959. I think that would be pretty sweet. What I'm saying is we've seen a lot more of Hawkins since Season 2. Me, personally, I would prefer a completely new map like the Starcourt Mall. Maybe that's something we get later down the line since Behavior said they're looking to add maps to existing chapters. Fingers crossed. Next up, cosmetics. This one is the simplest out of the three. More cosmetics for everyone. That's it. You can skip this area now. Don't, because I'm going to go into some stuff, but you could if you wanted. We have new fits for Steve and Nancy from both Seasons 4 and 5. You've got the entire series to work with when it comes to cosmetics for Joyce and Hopper. Let's get legendary skins for Karen and Tim, Nancy and Holly's parents. Let's get a legendary skin for Eddie and Robin and Chrissy. Maybe we get a time skip in the final episode and we see the core group of kids in college. Give us those skins when we know they're adults. And most important of all, skins for Demo and Vecna. I want Blighted skins for both. I want Void skins. I want Everlasting Frost skins. I want that weird bug motif that we've started, right? Pyramid Head has one. The bug one, the cocoon or chrysalis or whatever the hell it's called. I want it all. This is $1 billion setup, unlike what I thought FNAF chapter would be, because all of a sudden Scott Cawthon hates money. Give all 6 Stranger Things characters cosmetics and you will literally print money. Unlike Scott Cawthon, apparently. Ooh, Foxy and Chica and Freddy and Bonnie wouldn't kill anyone, says the creator who forgot what his first 4 games are. Lastly, but most importantly, a Demogorgon rework. Demo is a C-tier killer at best. He isn't very good or fun to play. The final season of Stranger Things so far has shown us a version of Demo that we have never seen before. From nearly killing Nancy's parents, to hunting down and potentially kidnapping Will Byers in the Upside Down, to single-handedly taking out a military convoy in the Upside Down, to beasting the Turnbow Trap, to a duo of them taking down an entire military base. I didn't mention the Season 4 demo killing the entire Russian base because all those guys were unarmed and scientists, whereas everyone in Season 5 are either somewhat armed, to Semper Fi. We need a new version of Demo that is comparable to that. For Entity's sake, Demo in Season 5 goes through portals instantly and can place them on walls and ceilings, and is a towering monster that looks bigger than Nemesis. I don't know how you would do it, but make Demo the fucking beast he deserves to be, because every scene involving Demo in the last season is hype as hell. Number 1, I would like to see Demo have the ability to just teleport without having to be an off-brand hag setting up portals. Make him a stealth killer because that's what he is. You get a little heads up with the flickering lights, and then a portal opens above your head and you're dead. Again, I have no idea how that would work, but that's not my job. Just make it happen. Gigabuff Demo. That's all I want. And that will bring this episode of Let's Talk About to a close. Let me know what your opinions are vis-a-vis Stranger Things Chapter 2 or Stranger Things in general. Like, do you want the time travel theory to come true, or are you like me and think that's the dumbest shit you could ever do? Duffer Brothers, don't end your incredible series with an Avengers Endgame time heist. Please, for the love of God. God, don't do that. Don't make Vecna a redeemable character. Don't do that. Don't do that. That'd be like ending your series by cutting a black mid-sentence, or your main character becoming a lumberjack for some reason. That would just kill the entire series based on the ending. Just end the series good, and we can worry about the spin-offs that don't involve the original cast at all. Just end Stick the fucking landing. That's all I ask. But until next time, I will see you in the fog. Good luck.